we're going to go ahead and move on with our program. Our next person that's going to be joining us is Meilin Feng, and I will go ahead and invite her to the stage and have her tell you what is happening next. Meilin, thank you for joining us, and I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, thank you very much. What a fascinating conversation. I was on the edge of my seat, all the things that were happening in this marvelous symposium. We are now moving into the ADA Awards, and we will be announcing the winners. And I'd like to introduce Marcely Hancock, who is my dear friend and colleague, to let us know about the winners. Marcely, are you there?
Let's see. Hi. It's wonderful to see you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have some amazing winners, and I'm absolutely thrilled to share with you our adaptable security evolution from a hope and a dream and a great deal of work, particularly from Lan Jensen and the team that she's put together. And we've had a stellar list, a stellar event, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be included in any way. So, Meilin, did you want to talk a little bit before I get started with the actual people who won the awards?
Okay. Hi, everyone. We are at the end of a wonderful symposium, and I wanted to put this in context for you, how important you are and how important your work is. I am the co-founder of the People-Centered Internet. For those of you who have watched this new Netflix thing called Social Dilemma, you'll realize that the internet has come with good things and bad things. I like to say the internet is like fire. It's up to us how we harness it. And for many centuries, thousands of years, fire burnt things up. It took hundreds of years for us to actually harness the power of fire. And we need to keep that in mind as we are working on harnessing the power of one of the greatest, most impactful tools that has ever been in humanity's hands, and that's digital technology. We have one job. Each of us is here because many generations have sacrificed, sometimes sacrificed everything so that we could live and grow and be here at this moment. And in San Jose, California, at the heart of Silicon Valley, we have a special responsibility because it is our community, our towns, our ways of doing things that are pioneering the digital frontier. The dangers come to us first. The opportunities come to us first. Let's go back. What is our one job? What is that job? We have one job, and that's to enable the next generation to have the opportunities that we have. I watched The Social Dilemma last night. That's why it's really current. The rate of teenage suicides amongst young girls has rapidly increased with social media. We are not doing the one job. That's only in one area. We're not doing the one job that we have. Cybersecurity is the threat we face as the whole world shifts to digital. And after COVID, that shift is accelerating. Things that were going to happen in the next 10 to 20 years are happening in the next 12 to 18 months. So I ask you, are you prepared to go down in history as the weak link in the unbroken chain that has allowed us to be here today? Or are you going to be part of the generation that rises up to our responsibility? You have a choice to make. If you decide to rise up to your responsibility, join us at Adaptable Security to pioneer a learning network where we can all learn and share together on the digital frontier and be a model for the learning networks that need to happen so that we can have resilient communities around the world. So that all of us together, our generation, can come together to give the next generation the better future that we've been given and we owe to them. Thank you.
Oh, yes, that's beautiful. I feel very strongly that we all have a role to play, and we don't all have to lead the role. There is a place for us to serve, even when we don't have a lot of time. And so I'm really thrilled to talk about our award winners this year, because Adaptable Security, we focused on the volunteers, and it really is at the heart. The people who attend cybersecurity conferences, they already know how important. I hope you feel that we recognize how important you are. It's difficult to find a way to get into the community to make a meaningful difference. So we're going to celebrate them with our awards. So I'm not looking on my phone. I'm not social networking. I have the list and the names. So I didn't want you to be confused. So I just want to give you, this is a snippet. So we're going to talk about Tech Cares, and they are one of our award winners. And here's just 3 quick snippets of volunteer work that they did. There was a boutique retail outlet, retail store in the lovely little area in Los Gatos. And when COVID hit, everything shut down and they were going to be out of business. And we had some Tech Cares volunteer spend some time and help them figure out, how do you do boutique selling securely and how do you reach your market? And they spent enough time to help them figure out their target and how to hit it. There was another small business just working its way to mid-size, and when COVID hit, they'd already planned on doing a penetration test, but they lost all their resources. So they were faced with, you close the doors or you run without having a secure system. And so we had Tech Cares volunteers help them fill that gap. And then we have one of my favorite places to get groceries in San Jose is a mom and pop grocery right across I was on the behavioral health board in Santa Clara County. Right across the street is this wonderful, the perfect icon for small business and how it feeds the diversity and nurtures the diversity. So it's a Latino grocery store with the best produce. I'm giving them a plug. It's Don Fernando. And the best prices. My friend who's a chef loves it when I go down and pick up some fruits and vegetables from their grocery store. And we had some really ideal Tech Cares volunteers who helped them figure out how to do social media, how to do it well, and how to look at the analytics and how to implement security and privacy within that experience. And that's just 3 small examples, but they're the examples that show how business can keep going, and not just any business, but a wide range of diverse businesses. And one of the things I appreciate about Tech Cares and about our work in recognizing the volunteers is that it's an example of how we can leverage the skills from this diverse population. And the digital divide, and it came up in the conference today, the digital divide is more than access. It's also security. So cybersecurity, to have access without it is to shortly not have access or to have access that is not helpful. So when cybersecurity know-hows, that even if they know something, can help their neighbor, their dentist, their small boutique shop, their local diverse grocer that has, some wonderful things from the Hispanic community, that to lose that because of cyber issues would be tragic in such a wide range, not just financially, but also culturally and for that family. So Tech Cares addresses both the gaps in access and in the capacity. So people who need the most help, we can connect that. So here come our winners, and I wish they were there and we could all applaud them and clap. I'm not sure what we're doing for being able to get them up on screen, so I think we're just going to have to read their names, which is not, if we were there on purpose, would be going hoo 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 and popping the cork. But so Kenny Yuen, Damian Thwaitis, so sorry if I mispronounced that, Tasha Kulramani, Greg Gibson, Raj Chiganti, Zoe Breitman, Peter Colano, and we have 2 universities, Syracuse University interns, and there's just a small group of them, Salvatore Longpepe, Raul Dilip Wabble, and Yashila Upendra Kumar. And then our Tech Cares penetration test, especially from the City College of San Francisco. So thank you for all of our stellar volunteers setting an example of how, and literally hundreds of hours were donated in the community from these individuals and these organizations. And this is how we grow our community. We look out for our neighbors, and we look out for them across the street, and we look out across the network, and we help the ones with whom we have access. We can't save everybody, but we can do a few things for some people. And as each of us recognizes the power of our capacity to do that one or two things, everybody is better off. So thank you, Lan. Thanks for a wonderful organization. I'm so proud of your work. And thanks for everyone who participated at the conference. And thanks, Maylin. Wonderful to see you. I miss you.
Thank you for doing a great job, Marcely, and congratulations, Lan, a fantastic conference. Every year you do better, and we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Bravo, bravo.
You are the inspiration. And these two ladies were there hand-holding me from day one. So you will always be the bedrock for this movement. So I have a good friend, Dennis Kim, here. I'm actually in his office. And earlier it was my fault that I missed.
That's right.
Yeah, I missed the time. But this is how we work together. And to both of your points earlier, I was just, Dennis was applauding Maylin and Marcely. And that's how we felt. You delivered powerful messages for us to take action together.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank
Bravo.
you.
Yeah. Team go.
And I also want to share one quick example, and then we are going to share next some participation awards for our event itself, etc. But before that, I also want to share how collaborations can happen. One example is that the team to select this online meeting platform. So we had people from 3 different organizations to select it together. While if one organization does it on their own, it's not going to happen within such a short amount of time while we have all those client projects to work on. But each person from different companies chipped in their time together, and that saved everyone's time. It saved the vendors' time. They don't have to do demos to 3 different organizations, and it saved us all time. And then guess what? The result is beneficial to all 3 organizations, and we may be able to also co-share the cost of it. So that is the power, of working together. Within, everyone knows that resources are limited. So that's our way of sharing our time, sharing our ideas, and together we come out stronger. So thank you, Maylin and Marcely, for your continuous support, leadership, and inspiration. Next, I'd like to also, in the spirit of collaboration, I want to also share 2 events, partners events, quickly, before we move on to the prizes for our team. So allow me to queue up the partners events quickly. These partners are industry leaders in their space, and they have partnered up with us, helped us do the outreach better. And their services are also essential in advancing the awareness and implementation of cybersecurity. So the first one is ISC Squared. The conference is coming up in November, and they are the world's largest cybersecurity professionals certifying organization. So the more of the details can be posted out on our website later. So I'm going to continue on to the next one. It's a close neighbor of ours in Cal Poly Pomona. And their event comes right after ours, but it has been happening many years in a row. So it's a well-organized and a well-practiced event. So encourage people to go. All of them, I think, are virtual. So with that, next, I'd like to queue up. And by the way, everyone, we have decided that we extend the conference time by half an hour. It's kind of like a after conference party. In real life, we would have music and food and drinks. That's what we did the previous 2 years. But just pretend that you have a glass of drink with you on us and say cheers. But if you do have something going on that you have to be elsewhere, please feel free to drop off. But we are going to have a party, and we have invited a world, I do believe that Matthew Bailey, who is an outspoken and prolific thought leader, whose recent book is just out this month. So I'm going to bring forward a slide about him, and then we are going to invite Matthew Bailey to say a few words himself. Okay, I'm going to close out on this. And Matthew Bailey, if you heard me, please come on forward, and can someone reach out to him to get to the backstage? And while waiting for him, his book ought to give us all a pause. And the book's title is the last one over here, a signed digital copy. That's the award later on. But his book is Inventing World 3.0. What does he mean by that? Artificial intelligence. When robots are going to be as smart as people, or even smarter, because they don't have to remember the way we have limited memory cells. They have a lot more capacity, let's say. Let me double check on Matthew again. Okay, by the way, people, if you're not seeing my screen, so that's all right. He did, okay, I think support team does not know his email address. So, yeah, a little glitch here. Oh, there he is. Hey.
Hello.
Yes, indeed. Please.
Thank you.
I can't hear anybody.
We can hear you. We
But
can
we
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay. Hold on. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just can't hear anybody. Well, first of all, Lan and the team, what a great conference. And it's so good to, if you don't mind me saying, see so many females leading the transformation of the next relationship with the planet, right? The digital world is at a place where it has a choice. Does it move forward with the current mindset of unethicalness, or do we bring it into more center stage where it's dealing with the digital divide, solving social inequity, and actually bringing well-being and advancement to individuals and solving global problems. And so and local problems, of course. And so I was delighted to catch Mei Ling talking about that. But for me, I think it's now a time of nurturing the digital world. And that is very much a female strength that us men have yet to learn. So I think it's wonderful that I've seen so many people from the female gender step up. And the different cultural profiles is so important, isn't it? Is that what it recognizes is we all hold the same ethical virtues of greatness of soul, magnificence, ambition, and serving our communities and serving our fellow human. So it's wonderful to actually see this. The book simply is something you've never ever read before. We tested the narrative with moms in families, professors, people who've won OBEs, people in life sciences, people who've floated billion-dollar companies on NASDAQ, different cultures around the world and different genders. And that is because the narrative of artificial intelligence and the future of the digital world has to become democratized. And we have to put innovation into the hands of the people, in my opinion. And so the book reveals some very, very new things that simply have never been invented before. One is around data ethics, using new Turing tests that anybody can understand, and to rank and certify the ethicalness of your data and the data of your suppliers. And there's kind of a challenge badge of different colors that's awarded at the end to determine the ethicalness of data and AI. And then the next thing, which is the big thing, is how do we give AI an understanding of our world, our cultures, whether religious, national, or personal, an understanding of our environment and how to solve local, national, and global challenges, but also an understanding of our sovereignty. We all have our personal sovereignty and culture. And the book reveals that. And so in the book, you'll see the human DNA and how we can put that into AI, for AI in its DNA to understand our world, our sovereignty, our environment, and also our humanity. And there's lots of examples in there. There's even solutions to resolve COVID-19 and move into pandemic resilience. And there's lots of guides in there. But the key thing is this, is that together we can invent a new world where the digital world really does become central stage, but we need trust. And that's why ethics are so important. That's why the leadership that I've seen throughout the conference is the right leadership to bring people together in a trust paradigm. It's fantastic. So it's wonderful to be here. And I just want to say thanks ever so much. It's lovely to see so many different people.
Thank you, Matthew. Now, cannot wait to get my hands on that digital copy or paper copy of the book. So let me continue on to the next page where you can see our winners. Oh, the day 3, I have to rely on the team to put it here. First of all, for the daily participation winners in these 3 days, the team, in the background, a pretty dedicated large team has been working after everyone goes home. And thanks to them all, we now have this list of winners who can, or did I mention that the prizes that they get? Let me go back, actually. Yeah, to introduce this a little bit first. So first, the winners can just pick any one of these 3. I would say the last 2 are marvelous. The first one is good for hanging out with a friend with the copy of book that you have won together with you and chatting it out with a friend. So the second one is a signed digital copy from also a leader in the smart city space who's been traveling around the world a lot, but now digitally too, Dr. Jonathan Rickenthal. He, of course, also spoke at the conference earlier. And to the right, of course, is that book that Matthew just eloquently introduced, gave us a peek of it. So now the winners have a pick, and we will send the gifts to people over digital means. And besides those prizes, Matthew has generously offered also a grand prize to people who truly are into this space and have inspirational thoughts themselves to have 30-minute conversations with Matthew in person. Virtually on AI or ethics. So to continue on. And I did include the way to participate in that online auction. So it's a URL. And to participate in it, you don't need to provide any personal information. But we trust you. If you play in it, we trust you, and we will contact you afterwards via email. All right. Now, with those prizes known to us, who are the lucky winners? On day one, we have, by the way, how about I invite our team member who has been doing the work behind the scene to come and announce the names rather than myself. Jenny, Kenny, would one of you be able to come on and announce the lucky winners?
I'm going to hop out so that you can see, so that they have some more screen space so they can see. I'll be listening.
Thank you, Marcel. Yeah, this does have one space. Okay. All right. Are you trying to discussing about who's coming? Go, Jenny. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Hi, everyone.
Wonderful. So
can you hear me? Oh, great.
Yes, you can.
Great. So I updated the daily, our winners and our professional networking winners as well. It's all randomly picked. And do you want me to go down the names? And I may not pronounce the names correctly, so I apologize ahead of time. Some of the names are, harder to pronounce than others. So for day one, for our daily participation winner for day one, I have the updated version. This one is missing day 3 and a little typo day 2. So our day 1 is Mona Stallings, Diane Gandara, Ann Marcus, Bayo.
Good.
Okay. I can't pronounce your last name, so if I say it wrong, I'm so sorry. Ifnogam Bont? I'm so sorry. I think that didn't sound right. And then Michael Sams, and that's day 1. Thank you for participating in day 1. Day 2, we have Andreas Kun, James Penman, Swetha Kanan, Alan Teals, and Patrick Chong. Thank you so much for participating in day 2. Then for today, we have Deborah Acosta, Kevin Goodall, Ann Marcus, Chuck Williams, and Katrina Destry. Thank you so much, and applaud for all of you for staying on all 3 days, having all your inputs and thoughts on all the sessions and speakers. Kenny, would you like to come on and say a few words? And I can go off so we can rotate, and anyone that wants to come on and share, welcome to.
Yeah, Kenny.
Kenny or Raj, would you like to say something? Hi, Kenny.
Hey. Well, I am happy that our event is about to close, and I know that there's been a lot of great work by everyone helping out this event. But first and foremost, thank you for all our attendees and our viewers out there. I'm really greatly, it's wonderful to have you guys joining us for this last 3 days. And obviously, I think we have so much that we have done here to support the community. But at the end of the day, it's all about coming together between the volunteers, the private sectors, and the public sectors, a joint effort, right? I think we heard from multiple speakers talking about, how we need to come together, collaborate to support our smart, secure society. I think that's the tagline that we talk about all the time. So thank you all, and so grateful to be here in supporting this event behind the scene and working with all of the volunteers. So by the way, we have the link that allow any one of you guys to join backstage. So I posted on the event chat. So feel free to click on that, and we will bring you into the front stage for you to share a few words as well. All right, so I'm gonna get off to allow more people to come on stage.
Thank you, Kenny. Yeah. And that gives me a chance to also post the auction URL in the window, because I think without it, it's a little hard to participate in it. So I know that our team of volunteers are wonderful people and sometimes are very humble and do not like to step up onto the stage. So that is quite all right. And in the future, wherever possible, we'll try to get together in person, which will make it that much easier to talk and converse as friends. So with that, I'd like to just say the last word, and we're going to conclude today's session. And can you keep me posted if some of our members wanted to come on? For now, I'm thinking that the messages delivered by Mei-Lin and Marcely are loud and clear and actionable. It's still ringing in my ear. Lan Jensen, has taken up the baton. And by being part of the conference, I hope that each one of you has picked up the baton and connected with your community in any way you personally can relate to. And together, that rippling effect is going to connect us all the way into the future. That's the only way that the future generation will have a world better than the world that we have inherited. Short of that, it might become worse. So let's, as the leaders, as the grown-ups, help out and lead the next generations in the right direction and do something. So thank you, everyone, for being part of it. You have been inspiring by being here, and hope to connect with you sometime in the near future. Bye. Keep safe wherever you are. Bye-bye now.